There will come a day when you stop breaking every time life hits you. That day can start today. You've been reacting to everything, people, problems, pressure, and calling it life. But life doesn't reward reactors. It rewards the ones who stand firm, calm, and unshakable in chaos. Over the next 30 days, you will train your mind to stop collapsing under emotion, stop chasing comfort, and stop negotiating with weakness. This is not motivation. This is mental construction. You're not here to feel better, you're here to become unshakable. Chapter 1. Stop breaking at small things. You say you want to be strong. You say you want peace, confidence, control. But how can you handle the storms of life if you're still breaking at the smallest drops of rain? Every day you get hundreds of tiny tests. You spill coffee. You lose your keys. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your message gets ignored. A plan doesn't go perfectly. And what happens? You explode. You panic. You shut down. You call it a bad day, but it's not a bad day. It's a weak pattern. That's the truth. Weak reactions to small problems build the habit of emotional collapse. You've been training your mind to break, one overreaction at a time. Listen carefully, you don't rise to strength by accident. You train it. And every minor inconvenience is your training ground. Every small frustration is your test. Every moment you resist the urge to panic, you build a brick of control. You have a choice, every single time. You can choose to react emotionally, or you can choose to respond intelligently. That's the key. Let's say you lose your phone. Most people curse, panic, tear the house apart, and tell everyone, "I can't believe this is happening." But stop. Breathe. Nothing in that moment requires panic. Nothing. You just trained your nervous system to associate loss with collapse. Now imagine responding differently. You pause. You breathe. You think, okay, it's gone. What can I do next? That one calm breath is strength. That's mental training. That's unshakable. Because unshakable doesn't mean perfect. It means you stay still when most people break. Here's the truth. If small things break you, big things will destroy you. That's not a warning, that's a fact. How do you expect to lead a team, build a business, or protect your family if you crumble every time your Wi-Fi drops or your feelings get hurt? The world won't slow down for your emotions. You must learn to command them. Every time you get triggered by something minor, stop and ask, am I reacting or responding? Reacting is emotional. Responding is intelligent. Reacting is panic. Responding is power. You have to train this daily. Because it's not about being emotionless, it's about being emotionally disciplined. You can't stop bad things from happening, but you can stop giving them control. Let's go deeper. Why do small things break you? Because you've been conditioned to believe your comfort equals your control. You think if everything goes smoothly, you're strong. But the opposite is true. Your strength is proven in discomfort. You find your power when you stay calm in chaos. The person who can stay calm during inconvenience becomes unstoppable in crisis. The person who doesn't panic at small problems becomes the person who can lead during war. So start seeing every small problem as a rep, a mental push-up. Missed bus? Representative delayed message? Representative rude customer? Representative, every one of those moments is a repetition in your emotional gym. You either lift your response, or you drop it. You can't build a strong body without resistance. And you can't build a strong mind without inconvenience. That's the discipline. That's the work. Let's take an example. You're on your way to work. You hit traffic. Your heart rate rises. You start mumbling. I can't believe this. I'm going to be late. But look, traffic isn't the problem. Your lack of control is. You can't move the cars. But you can control your breathing. You can control your focus. You can decide to use the time to think, reflect, plan, breathe. Every second you practice control, you're training your mind to remain still in storms. That's how warriors are made. Not in battle, in boredom. Not when the stakes are high, but when the inconveniences are small. You have a choice. You can either be a slave to your emotions or the master of your response. You don't need their apology. You don't need the situation to change. You need to change your state. That's the key. Here's another truth. The small things are never really small. Because the small things shape your identity. The way you handle losing your pen is the same way you'll handle losing your peace. The way you deal with someone cutting you off is the same way you'll deal with rejection, loss, and chaos. Everything is connected. Every small reaction teaches your brain how to behave in bigger storms. You're teaching your mind something every day, whether you realize it or not. When you explode, you're teaching it weakness. When you pause, you're teaching it strength. When you complain, you're teaching it helplessness. When you breathe, you're teaching it mastery. The difference between an emotional person and a disciplined one is 1 second. One pause. One breath. That's the line between chaos and control. If you truly want to become unshakable, start with the smallest moments. When someone interrupts you, pause. When your plan fails, pause. When you get bad news, pause. When you feel that rush of frustration, pause. The pause is where strength is built. That pause is your weapon. That pause is your training. You have to rewire your reflex. Most people's reflex is reaction. Your new reflex must be response. No panic. No outburst. No chaos. Calm. Control. Command. That's your new standard. Understand this. You can't be trusted with greatness if you can't handle smallness. You can't handle pressure at the top if you collapse at the bottom. The universe will test you with small problems before it gives you big responsibility. If you keep breaking, it won't promote you, because it knows you're not ready. So the next time something small frustrates you, smile. You're being trained. You're being shaped. You're being tested for something bigger. And your reaction is the result. Not the event, the reaction. It's not about avoiding difficulty. It's about outgrowing fragility. That's the key. When you master your reactions, you master your peace. And when you master your peace, you become untouchable. Every day life will whisper, "Let's see how easily I can break you." And you'll whisper back, "Not today." Because you've learned the truth. If small things break you, big things will destroy you. But if small things can't move you, nothing ever will. You've now taken the first step toward emotional control, the foundation of an unshakable mind. You've learned how to pause, breathe, and respond with strength, not emotion. You've learned that small moments are not distractions, they're tests. And you passed. Now it's time to take that stillness and expand it. Because unshakable isn't just about reaction, it's about communication, tone, and self-talk. You mastered your reactions. Now let's master your thoughts. Chapter 2. Control your inner dialogue before it controls you. You live with a voice inside your head. It never stops talking. It judges, doubts, complains, worries, compares, and criticizes. And most people spend their entire lives being led by that voice instead of leading it. Your thoughts are the architects of your emotions. If you think weak, you feel weak. If you think fear, you feel fear. If you think loss, you feel lost. You are not controlled by the world. You are controlled by the words you repeat to yourself. So let's get this straight right now. You control the conversation inside your head, or it controls you. That's the rule. That's the power. That's the work. You can't build an unshakable mind if the loudest voice you hear is the one telling you you're not enough. You can't walk with confidence if your inner dialogue whispers fear every time you try to rise. You can't win wars outside when you've already lost the one inside. The war is mental. The weapon is words. And the enemy is your own negative voice. When you wake up in the morning, that voice starts immediately. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. What's the point? You hear it, and without realizing, you obey it. You act tired. You feel defeated. You move slow. You stop trying. That's how weakness works. It doesn't shout. It whispers. You have to interrupt it. Immediately. The moment a weak thought enters your mind, stop it. Don't entertain it. Don't analyze it. Don't feed it. Interrupt it with authority. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the one who commands them. You have a choice. You can let them run you, or you can run them. That's the key. Here's what most people don't understand. Your brain doesn't care what's true. It believes what it hears most often. If you keep repeating fear, it becomes fact. If you keep repeating failure, it becomes identity. If you keep repeating strength, it becomes reflex. That's why negative self-talk is so dangerous. It's not harmless noise, it's self-programming. When you say, "I'm not confident," your brain doesn't argue. It agrees. When you say, I can't do this, your body listens. When you say, I always mess things up, your subconscious goes to work proving you right. That's why you have to replace that voice. You don't silence it, you dominate it. You don't beg it to stop, you overrule it. You speak over it. You speak louder. You speak stronger. You need what I call the command tone. The command tone is how you talk to yourself when you've decided you're done being controlled by weakness. It's not soft. It's not polite. It's not emotional. It's the tone of leadership. You use it when you wake up. You use it when you don't feel like working. You use it when fear starts whispering. You say, get up. You say, we're doing this. You say, I don't care how I feel. We move. That's the command tone. It's how soldiers talk to their bodies. It's how athletes talk to their minds. It's how disciplined people talk to themselves in silence when no one else is watching. Because no one can hear that voice but you, but it shapes everything you do. When you talk to yourself like a victim, you stay one. When you talk to yourself like a leader, you become one. You have a choice. And every time you choose power over pity, that inner voice gets weaker. Let's be real, you can't stop negative thoughts from showing up. But you can stop bowing to them. They show up. You interrupt them. You replace them. Example, I'm not good enough. I'm improving every day. I don't feel motivated. I move anyway. I failed. I learned. This isn't fake positivity. This is mental control. You're not lying to yourself. You're leading yourself. And there's a difference. You don't need to believe it at first. Just speak it. Your brain will catch up later. Because repetition creates reality. Think of your mind like a house. If you let garbage in every day, don't be surprised when it stinks. You can't build peace in a place filled with self-abuse. So every time a negative thought enters, open the door and throw it out. Replace it with order. Replace it with authority. Replace it with your command tone. You have to start speaking like the person you want to become. If you want strength, speak strength. If you want focus, speak focus. If you want control, speak control. Your inner dialogue must match your desired identity. That's how transformation happens. Let's get practical. Here's your daily drill. Catch it. Notice when you speak weakly to yourself, I can't, I don't feel like it, I'm tired. Interrupt it. Say stop. Out loud if you need to. Break the pattern immediately. Replace it. Speak in your command tone. I can handle this. I'm built for this. Keep going. Do it every day. Do it in the mirror. Do it while driving. Do it under pressure. You don't need their permission. You don't need a perfect mindset. You need control over your language, because your language is your mindset. You have to remember, thoughts become patterns, patterns become habits, and habits become identity. If you don't change the way you talk to yourself, you'll never change the way you live. The inner critic will always try to keep you small. It will say, stay safe. It will say, don't try. It will say, you're not ready. But the command tone says, move anyway. The command tone says, you're built for this. The command tone says, let's go. That's the difference between the weak and the strong. One listens to fear. The other commands through it. So when you hear that negative voice, don't negotiate. Don't debate. Don't justify. Just override it. Say the words with authority. Say them until your body obeys. Say them until silence respects you. Because you control the conversation inside your head, or it controls you. That's not a suggestion. That's a law. Every champion, every soldier, every disciplined person on earth has learned this truth. The loudest voice you hear all day must be your own, and it must be under your command. Your mind is the battlefield. Your words are your weapon. Your tone is your control. You are not fighting the world. You are fighting the weakness that lives in your thoughts. And you win that fight one command at a time. So stop letting your inner voice bully you. Stop letting it narrate your limits. Take the microphone back. From now on, every word you say to yourself must build, not break. It must strengthen, not weaken. It must guide, not confuse. Because that's what unshakable people do. They don't wait for silence, they create it through command. You've now learned how to lead the most powerful conversation in your life, the one inside your head. You've learned to interrupt negativity, use the command tone, and take back control from fear. Now it's time to take that control and move it into your emotions, your reactions, your detachment, your power. You've mastered the voice. Now master the energy behind it. Chapter 3: Emotional detachment is power. You've spent too long reacting. Too long letting life, people, and circumstances dictate your emotions. You spill your anger on small mistakes. You carry disappointment like it's a suitcase. You let fear whisper and your heart obey. That stops now. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. Let me repeat, detachment is not coldness. Detachment is not indifference. Detachment is control. It's the ability to feel without losing command, to care without collapsing, to see clearly without being clouded by panic, frustration, or rage. Think about it. Most people confuse emotion with weakness. They believe that showing anger, panic, or hurt is natural. They believe that exploding is honest. No, exploding is surrender. Exploding is giving away your power. Exploding is letting someone else write the script of your day. Real power is staying calm when others expect you to explode. The barista screws up your order? Pause. Don't yell. Handle it with composure. A coworker undermines you in a meeting? Pause. Respond with clarity, not venom. Life is full of triggers. And every trigger is a test. Every test is a lesson. Every lesson is an opportunity to prove who controls the system, you or your impulses. Let me say it again. Detach doesn't mean you stop caring. Detach means you stop losing control. Detach means you refuse to hand over your mental state to others. Detach means power. Here's the principle. Your reaction is a transfer of energy. When you explode, complain, or panic, you are giving life and strength to the thing that provoked you. When you stay calm, composed, and deliberate, you take energy away from the trigger and return it to yourself. Think about the strongest people you know. The ones who never lose composure. The CEO who remains calm when everything crashes. The soldier who holds position when chaos reigns. The parent who speaks calmly to a screaming child in public. What do they all have in common? They have mastered detachment. Detachment allows you to observe reality without distortion. When you detach, you stop reacting to the surface-level noise and start understanding the underlying patterns. You see intentions, consequences, and opportunities clearly. You see truth without the filter of frustration or anger. Let's break it down into a repeatable strategy, because knowledge alone is useless without action. Step 1. Detach. Step back from the emotional pull. Recognize it. Name it. I am feeling anger. I am feeling fear. I am feeling frustration. Observation first. Recognition first. Step 2. Observe. Look at the situation objectively. What is happening? Who is involved? What is the truth? You are a witness to events, not a hostage. Observation doesn't mean judgment, it means understanding. Step 3. Decide. Decide how you will respond. Not react. Decide how you want to show up in this moment. Decide whether your energy will be spent wisely or wasted on chaos. Step 4. Act. Then act with precision. Not with impulsive emotion. Not with weakness. Act with intention, clarity, and discipline. Detach. Observe. Decide. Then act. Detach. Observe. Decide. Then act. Detach. Observe. Decide. Then act. Repeat it. Internalize it. Make it reflexive. Make it instinctive. Let me give you real-world examples so this isn't abstract. Scenario 1. Someone insults you on social media. Most people immediately fire back. They type angry words, post hateful messages, let adrenaline dictate their actions. They feel justified in their rage. Now watch the detached person. They pause. They breathe. They acknowledge their initial reaction. They think, this says more about them than me. I don't need to react. I can act with clarity. They post nothing, respond calmly, or ignore entirely. That is power. That is control. That is detachment. Scenario 2. Your boss criticizes you unfairly in front of a team. Your heart races, your face flushes, your thoughts scream injustice. The reactive person explodes. They argue. They defend. They lose credibility in the process. The detached person? They pause. They observe. They evaluate the criticism. They respond once with calm logic. They do not let emotion dictate behavior. They walk away stronger. They walk away unshakable. Do you see the difference? One gives power away. One takes power. Here's the repeated truth. Detach. Observe. Decide. Then act. You do not react. You respond. You do not hand over your mental state. You reclaim it. You do not allow chaos to define you. You define yourself. Detachment is also about perspective. You begin to see life in layers. Small annoyances remain small. Big challenges appear manageable. And threats that used to terrify you lose their grip. Ask yourself, how many times have you ruined your day over something insignificant? How many relationships have suffered because of uncontrolled emotion? How many opportunities have slipped because you reacted instead of acted? Detach. Observe. Decide. Then act. Here's an exercise to practice daily. Identify a trigger, small or large. Pause for 5 seconds, just pause. Label the emotion. This is anger. This is frustration. Step back mentally. You are observing, not participating. Decide how to act with control. Execute intentionally. Do this every day. With every interaction. With every annoyance. With every test life gives you. Remember, detachment is not avoidance. Detachment is not apathy. Detachment is not weakness. It is command. It is discipline. It is strength. Detach. Observe. Decide. Then act. You are building an unshakable foundation. The next storm cannot break you. The next insult cannot shake you. The next failure cannot define you. Because you are no longer ruled by emotion. You are ruled by choice. You are ruled by strategy. You are ruled by clarity. You've now taken control of one of the most dangerous forces in your life, your emotional reflexes. You've learned to step back, analyze, and act with authority. You've learned that staying calm when others expect you to explode is the ultimate power. And with this power, everything changes. Now you're ready to take detachment into action. Not just controlling thoughts and reactions, but controlling situations, communication, and influence. You mastered your control over emotion. Now let's talk about influence and authority without confrontation. Chapter 4. Stop seeking validation, start building value. Most people live their lives begging for approval. They crave likes, compliments, applause, attention, validation. They measure themselves by others' opinions instead of their own standards. Let me tell you the truth. External validation is emotional debt. Every time you seek approval from someone else, you hand over your peace. You owe your calm, your confidence, your focus, your decisions to someone else's opinion. And if they choose to withhold it, you collapse. You doubt yourself. You hesitate. You freeze. That's weakness disguised as politeness. That's insecurity dressed as humility. That's surrender masquerading as cooperation. You cannot become unshakable if your self-worth is borrowed from someone else. You must own it. All of it. Every ounce. Every day. Think about it. Every time you post online hoping for likes, every time you fish for compliments, every time you smile just to be accepted, what are you really doing? You are training your brain to need permission to feel good. You are building chains around your freedom. You are practicing weakness. Now imagine the alternative. Imagine waking up every day with zero need for approval. Imagine working, building, creating, improving, silently. Imagine measuring your life against your own standards, not their applause. That is power. That is freedom. That is value. You have a choice. Borrow your strength or build it yourself. Approval is temporary. Self-respect is permanent. Say it with me. Say it again. Approval is temporary. Self-respect is permanent. Approval is temporary. Self-respect is permanent. External validation is emotional debt. Think about that phrase. Debt is owed. Interest is charged. Your energy, your attention, your peace, all borrowed to satisfy someone else. And the lender, the world, the social media, the coworkers, the friends, the family, doesn't care if you break. They are not invested in your peace. They are invested in their reaction to you. Stop lending them power. Stop borrowing their permission. Instead, replace the need to be seen with the desire to improve silently. Every hour you spend performing for others is an hour stolen from your craft, your discipline, your growth. Every moment you waste seeking attention is a moment you could be building mastery. Do it quietly. Do it relentlessly. Do it without announcement. No one needs to know. No one needs to approve. No one needs to cheer. Your results, your progress, your transformation, they speak louder than validation ever could. Here's the reality: the world will never fully approve of you. No matter how much you try. No matter how perfect you appear. No matter how many rules you follow. People criticize. People envy. People doubt. That is inevitable. So why give them power over your emotions? You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You don't need their recognition. You need discipline. You need work. You need self-respect. That's why value beats validation every single time. Value lasts. Value commands. Value does not bend to the opinions of strangers. Let's be practical. Step 1. Audit your dependencies. Notice where in your life you are seeking approval. Is it social media? Your family? Your friends? Your coworkers? Write it down. Identify it. Call it out. Step 2. Reframe your mindset. Instead of asking, will they like this? Ask, am I improving? Instead of, do they approve? Ask, am I building worth? Instead of, will they notice? Ask, am I growing? Step 3. Act silently. Do the work. Improve your skill. Build your body. Develop your mind. Don't announce it. Don't seek praise. Don't wait for applause. The results themselves will eventually speak louder than anyone ever could. Consider the masters in any field. The athletes, the entrepreneurs, the authors, the creators, the thinkers. Did they get where they are by asking for approval at every step? No. They worked. They failed. They trained. They learned. They repeated. They focused on value, not validation. That is why their results are unshakable. Because their foundation was built internally, not on the shifting sands of others' opinions. Think about it like this: validation is temporary. Self-respect is permanent. Validation feels good for a moment. It's fleeting. It's fragile. It's unreliable. Self-respect feels good forever. It is unshakable. It is internal. It cannot be taken away. You cannot rely on temporary highs to sustain long-term strength. So let's repeat it. You have to say it and mean it. Approval is temporary, self-respect is permanent. Approval is temporary, self-respect is permanent. Approval is temporary, self-respect is permanent. Let it sink in. Let it guide your actions. Let it govern your choices. Real transformation happens when you internalize this principle. Stop asking for permission to live. Stop trying to prove your worth to the doubters. Stop performing for the observers. Instead, start creating. Start learning. Start growing. Start building value quietly, deliberately, and relentlessly. Because value commands respect automatically. Value does not beg. Value does not collapse. Value cannot be stolen. Value is power. And power is freedom. Here's a challenge for you. Every time you feel the urge to seek validation, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for them? If it's for them, stop. If it's for you, keep going. Do it silently. Do it with discipline. Do it relentlessly. Your peace is more valuable than their opinion. Your growth is more important than their applause. Your mastery is stronger than their recognition. You don't need permission to build. You don't need attention to improve. You don't need validation to exist. The world will judge you anyway. People will doubt you anyway. Critics will criticize anyway. So why let them rule your mental state? Stop seeking validation. Start building value. External applause is fleeting. Your self-respect lasts forever. Your internal standards are unshakable. Your discipline is non-negotiable. Your focus is unstoppable. Approval is temporary. Self-respect is permanent. Say it again. Repeat it. Internalize it. Act on it every day. Build silently. Improve relentlessly. Own your worth. You've now taken a huge step in becoming unshakable, freeing yourself from the chains of external approval. Now, let's move forward and learn how to turn life's challenges into strength. Pain is inevitable, but power is optional. Chapter 5. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. Pain is inevitable. Life guarantees it. Failure guarantees it. Loss guarantees it. And most people run from it. They fight it. They cry over it. They curse it. They treat every wound, every insult, every setback as a sentence, a punishment delivered by life to break them. That's weakness. That's surrender. That's a mind untrained to see truth. Here's the reality. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. Pain is information. Pain is feedback. Pain is data. It's your mind's way of pointing out where you're weak. It's not punishment. It's preparation. Every emotional sting is a map. Every disappointment is a lesson. Every hurt is a guide. Pain tells you exactly where you need to strengthen, adjust, or improve. Repeat it with me. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Let's get practical. You get fired. You feel humiliation, anger, and despair. Most people see that as a sentence. This is it. I failed. Life is unfair. No. Look deeper. Pain is signaling, you need resilience. You need skill. You need strategy. It's not the end. It's a guidepost. Use the pain as proof that you are growing, not dying. You break up with someone. You feel rejection, loss, and confusion. Most people see that as punishment. I'll never recover. Life is cruel. No, that pain is data. It shows where your heart is untrained, where your boundaries need sharpening, where your self-respect must rise. Every tear is a lesson. Every ache is insight. Every disappointment is opportunity. You have a choice. You can let pain break you, or you can let it build you. Every strong person you know has been broken 100 times. Every resilient leader, athlete, and thinker has felt humiliation, loss, failure, and grief. What separates them from the weak is their response. They see the signal. They analyze it. They act on it. They transform pain into preparation. They convert setbacks into strategy. They turn wounds into wisdom. Pain is inevitable. Weakness is optional. Here's how to train yourself. Step 1. Recognize it. The first step is awareness. Feel the sting. Name it. Don't avoid it. Don't deny it. Pain exists. Say it aloud. This hurts. I notice it. I accept it. Step 2. Extract the signal. Ask, what is this telling me? What can I learn? Where do I need to improve? Every setback has an answer. Every failure has a lesson. Every hurt has a direction. Step 3. Act on it. Don't just analyze. Don't just pity yourself. Train. Adjust. Improve. Push harder. Sharpen your mind, body, or skills. Every act of growth neutralizes the sting of pain. Repeat it often. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Repeat it until your mind starts looking for the signal instead of fearing the pain. Repeat it until your reflex is growth, not collapse. Let's look at real-world examples. Example 1. An athlete fails a critical competition. Most would collapse, curse themselves, and quit. The strong one? They watch the replay. They analyze every error. They train to fix it. They let the sting guide them. Pain became a signal, not a sentence. Example 2. An entrepreneur loses a major client. Most see doom. Most panic. Most believe life is punishing them. The resilient entrepreneur? They study the failure. They identify weaknesses in service, communication, or strategy. They improve and come back stronger. Pain became feedback, not finality. Every emotional sting, every failure, every insult is a training tool. Every hurt you feel is a guidepost pointing toward growth. The only thing that turns signal into sentence is your refusal to act. You must internalize this truth. Pain does not define you. Pain signals opportunity. Pain is the bridge between weakness and strength. Pain is a teacher. Pain is unavoidable. Collapse is optional. Repeat after me. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Say it whenever life strikes. Say it when disappointment comes. Say it when fear rises. Say it when rejection hits. Every repetition rewires your mind. Every repetition strengthens your reflex. Every repetition builds unshakable resilience. Here's the mindset that separates the unshakable from the defeated. Defeated people see pain as a sentence, I am broken. Unshakable people see pain as a signal, where can I grow? What must I strengthen? Notice the difference? One collapses, one builds. Your goal is to train your brain to automatically ask the question, what is this telling me? Don't ask, why me? Don't ask, is this fair? Ask, what can I do next? How can I improve? How can I turn this sting into strength? Pain is temporary. Growth is permanent. Pain is unavoidable. Mastery is optional. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Now here's your daily practice. When something hurts, stop. Breathe. Feel it. Recognize it. Ask yourself, what is the signal here? What is this teaching me? Decide the action. Train, adjust, grow, or respond differently next time. Take that action. Every day. Every time. Do this consistently and pain loses its power to dominate. Do this repeatedly and pain becomes your ally. Do this relentlessly and you turn every setback into an advantage. Let me be clear. Detachment from pain is not numbness. Detachment is awareness. Detachment is strategy. Detachment is power. You don't pretend pain doesn't exist. You acknowledge it, study it, and act on it. You learn. You grow. You evolve. You convert hurt into fuel. You convert stings into preparation. You convert weakness into unshakable strength. So, when life hits you with loss, rejection, failure, or heartbreak, remember, it's not a sentence. It's a signal. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. You feel it. You study it. You act on it. You grow. You learn. You rise. Every painful moment is a step forward if you choose to use it. Every hardship becomes a tool if you choose to wield it. Every challenge becomes a bridge if you choose to cross it. You've now learned to see pain differently. You've learned to feel it without surrendering to it. You've learned to convert every emotional sting into proof that you are growing, not dying. You've internalized the rule, pain is not punishment, it's preparation. You've built what most people will never build, a mind that doesn't shake even when the world does. You've learned that peace is not given, it's earned through control, repetition, and ruthless self-command. You no longer chase approval, comfort, or validation. You chase mastery. You've stopped reacting and started responding. You've replaced emotion with action. Every pause, every silence, every disciplined choice, it all built the new you. You are now the calm in chaos, the fire that doesn't burn out, the storm that never loses direction. From this moment on, every day is another brick in your fortress of control. Don't aim to be liked. Don't aim to be loud. Aim to be unshakable. Your challenge? For the next 30 days, live by your code. Speak less. React slower. Work harder. Because the next time life tries to break you, it won't.